Thanks for staying tuned, and welcome to another edition of the Hgp Sport. For today, September 30th, I am Stanford Howard. Thanks for joining us. In football, St. Pius destroyed Smith Memorial and North Georgetown overpowered Ansgrove during the second weekend of the Courts Pee Wee football tournament at the Ministry of Education ground. More in this report.
The Court's annual Pee Wee Schools football competition got into high gear on Saturday and had teachers and parents up on their feet, shouting in the blistering heat for their respective schools. The first match of the day proceedings was Mucka against J.E. Burnham, which ended in a walkover for Mucka. While in the second match, Mays on the 12 redeemed themselves to topple Enterprise Secondary with a 2-1 defeat, whereas South Rungville Primary lost to Craig 2-0. Things got a little heated in the fourth match of the day in the Soosdijk versus St. Margaret's round, with the day belonging to Soosdijk boys for Margaret's poor defense, which handed them 7 goals at full time. Jaden Tasha started things off for Soosdijk in the 13th minute, but added 2 more goals in the 15th and 23rd to finish with a hat-trick of goals. Jermaine Mitchell contributed a double in the 21st and 25th minutes, followed by Ezekiel Holder in the 36th minute and Neil Passard in the 30th minute, with 1 apiece to hand Soosdijk a 7-0 win over Margaret's. While in the match number 7, Ansgrove had the same fate when they went up against North Georgetown. At that stage, it was now truly evident that the competition had gotten a lot stiffer and a new champion could emerge. Things got going for North Georgetown in the 10th minute of the game from Martha Chase, but the day belonged to Gary Primo, who converted 4 times in the 11th, 12th, 33rd, and 48th minutes. During those goals, Ansgrove had a few close calls, but was unable to penetrate the rare strokes of North Georgetown, with Delon Ray in the 24th and Manshir Khan in the 14th minute, rounding out the 7 goals. The defending champion St. Pius continue on with their adequate form, with 9 goals to Smith's Memorial's 1. Those 9 goals came off the boots of Jamal Fraser, who made a whopping 6 goals in the first, 19th, 22nd, 29th, 34th, and 36th minutes, along with Jamal Jones in the 13th, Nikolai Watsons in the 25th, and Tion Macy's in the 31st minute. Other results of the day were Iflot losing to Redeemer 1-0, to Mary Chung St. Pleasance 4-0, St. Agnes beating St. Ambrose 2-0, Marion's Academy edging past F.E. Pollard 2-1, and West Rungville defeating Genesis 1-0. For Hgp Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
In chess, Tafinkan prevails over Loris Natu and remains unbeaten as the Geico Chess Championship concludes. Jaden Samuels reports.
Candidate master and former national champion Tafin Khan outplayed his closest rival, Loris Natu, on Wednesday to secure the sole leadership position in the Geico Construction Grand Prix chess tournament at the National Racket Center. The tense 4th round encountered between the two ended when Natu conceded defeat after 34 moves. Khan is now on 4 points following 4 straight wins. Former national champion Wendell Musaw is Khan's next main opponent, in line with 3.5 points. The remaining 3 of 7 rounds will be played this weekend, and the winners of both the junior and the senior categories will be announced, including the best female player. The inaugural tournament is the first in a series to attract the best chess players to represent Guyana at the 2020 Chess Olympiad in Russia. Jaden Samuels, Hgp Sport.
Turning our attention to some athletics news, the UPEC Federation of the SDA Church held its qualification sports in preparation for Congress 2019. Samuel Gillis has more.
In preparation for Youth Congress 2019, which is slated for October, at the National Track and Field Center, Lenora, the UPEC Federation held its qualifying races on Sunday the 29th. A sizable crowd turned out at the Golden Grove Community Center ground to watch athletes vie for their spots at the national races to be held by the Guyana Conference of the SDA Church. 100 meters open, 4x100 meters on the 16 and open, 80 meters on the 10, and relays among many other races were run off. Among the many activities, a 10-10 cricket was played between Victoria and Golden Grove Cricket Club, which saw Victoria emerging as champions along with a practice match for basketball. Nightly News spoke with an official of the federation on the impact of these events on the youth.
This activity has allowed the youth of our church to be unified in so many ways. Now, I'm responsible for the pathfinders of the federation, the children between ages 10 to 15, and you can see the enthusiasm of these children to participate in this activity. This activity is only held once a year, and so my pathfinders look forward to this activity to showcase their talent. They're enthusiastic, they're excited, and they're really, really happy to be a part of this year's Youth Federation sports.
A few medals were given to children to continue to encourage them to be involved in positive activities in society and make constructive contributions to their schools and communities. For Hgp Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
The Guyana Football Federation, in observing Child Protection Week, has chosen to bring about awareness on the prevalence of child abuse and curbing the issue. Jaden Samuels reports.
Observed under the theme promoting social changes to stop the violation of children, Child Protection Week was taken seriously, at least by the Guyana Football Federation, which hosted a one-day workshop aimed at exploring new initiatives to curb this issue through football. Additionally, the workshop, which was held on Saturday, sought to heighten awareness to the issue and to better enable the safety for those affected. The workshop held at the GFF boardroom was facilitated by Senior Child Protection Officer Miss Malaika Woodruff and the agency's legal officer Miss Talisha Williams. Woodruff called for the proactive involvement of key stakeholders in enabling the safety, protection, and preservation of the rights of children, which includes changing mind concepts, attitudes, and behavior towards children. Also speaking at the workshop, GFF's President Wayne Ford said education about child protection issues is vital for coaches and will become part of coaches' continuous education. Coaches will now have to undergo child protection training courses each year in order to retain their coaching license. Ford added that the forum also enabled the strengthening of collaborative efforts and initiatives for the support of children, families, and communities in promoting social change. Child Protection Week was observed from September 22 to 28. Jaden Samuels, Hgp Sport.
Turning our attention to the ongoing CPL. The biggest party in sports, CPL, gets even bigger, introducing the women's version, a 10-10 affair, starting in the latter matches this year. The details in this report.
This will be the first time 10-10 will be played on the international stage. After being in talks for years, women's action will now be a part of the annual biggest party in sport, starting during the final matches of the tournament. CEO of CPL Pete Russell has announced. The announcement was made on Monday as CPL expands the league, getting the ladies to be a part of the action.
Yes, it's very exciting that today we can announce that we're going to play 2 women's T10 games as part of CPL this year. They're going to be played on Thursday the 10th and Saturday the 12th, and will be played just before the men's playoff game and the men's final. Why this is so important and exciting for us is, as Lizelle mentioned, we've been trying to look at how we can develop the women's game, certainly from a franchise perspective.
Answering to questions as to whether this will see the T10 being a part of the CPL franchise in the future, CEO of CPL Pete Russell had this to say.
And hence why it's so important for us to start this process now. I think for us it's about getting the women, as we mentioned before, into an environment where they get that sense of what franchise cricket is about. And I think to be here with us around finals week, I think will give them a really good insight into how obviously CPL runs, but also what's potentially available down the road.
The teams will come from the West Indies professional pool of players, with the first match being fixed for the 10th of October, while the second match being played on October 12th. Meantime, the Jamaican Talwas, despite already being knocked out of the tournament this year, are already in Guyana for the final match against the Amazon Warriors on Thursday. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
And finally in sport this evening, Jamaica's Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price powered her way to 100 meters gold on Sunday to become the first person to win 4 gold medals over the distance at the World Championships. Price, who returned to the track only last year after giving birth to a son, stormed across the line in a season-best time of 10.71 seconds, followed by Britain's Deanna Smith in 10.83 seconds, and Ivory Coast Maria Jo Stalou, world silver medalist at the 100 and 200 meter in London 2 years ago, completed the podium, grabbing bronze with 10.90 seconds. The victory cemented Fraser-Price's status as one of the all-time great sprinters, with her 4 world title going alongside Olympic gold won in 2008 and 2012, and perhaps more to come at the 2020 Tokyo Summer Games. While Alison Felix won her 12th world title as the United States claimed the inaugural World Championship 4x400 meters mixed relay on Sunday. And that's all we have for this edition of the HGP Sportscast. But do remember, when you win, say nothing. When you lose, say less. Over to you, Javon. Goodbye.